Hi guys, it's Kim. I'm Lula. No, I'm joking. So this is going to be a little bonus. This will be the pick and mix that we had to take out, or I had to take out of episode 7B. So do enjoy and make sure you comment, subscribe, do all the good things. Alrighty, enjoy.
Pick a mix time.
All right, what's the number?
It's 18, isn't it?
Yeah.
Five.
Why was it always five?
Was it five
So,
before?
yeah, or was it 14?
Seven then. I feel like it was a double digit number before, but
No, we'll do five. So, characters and imagining. Do you mentally cast characters? Have you ever disagreed with an adaptation? And do you look at fan art?
of course.
I
We
asked you
we
three
always
questions.
discuss we always discuss what we think they look like. So clearly we're imagining as we're
Mm,
seeing it. And then yeah, we have that mind, isn't it, where if you say apple, you'll see an apple. Some people don't
mm,
do that. So I think, yeah, I guess I see what the question is. But yeah, I definitely have to visualize. And then I was reading a book currently, which we're going to talk about. But one of my points is one of the characters is so well named because, yeah, well, he does something later on, and I was like, yeah, that fits the name. So I think the name's important too. Adaptations are very important, but
mm.
if you divert drastically from what the author intended, I don't mind if you, as long as
Yeah,
you have a
if it's
reason
a
for it.
And if it also has to be a crazy diversion. It can't
Yeah,
just be like, oh, you've described this guy in the book as having black hair, and all of a
black hair
sudden
and he's
he
blonde.
has,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like, but why? What was the point?
You
It
couldn't dye
has to
it.
be, yeah, it has to be like, I don't know, like it's an all male cast, and then you decided to make it all female cast. Something really drastic for
Mm.
the adaptation. Yeah, I get that. I do get that. Yeah. But I definitely do the visuals. Like sometimes I can get through a book and not care about it. Like even this book. I don't think it was until we got near, I think even part 3 that I was just like, oh, like what do these people look like? So like
If
even Belly, I think she's got like supposedly like long red hair. I didn't clock that until like something happens to her, and I was just like, she's got red
Yeah,
hair.
you're right. So you're right, actually. So like you sent me a voice note, it's like, is Viz black? And I was like, what?
Mm,
I don't know. And
it's like I didn't even think
I had
about
to,
it.
yeah, and I had to Google it, and then there was like he wasn't described basically, so it was left
Mm,
up to, and I think that's it. What is described, I visualize. What isn't, I leave to fill in the blank. Some bits aren't important, and you're right. Maybe his description wasn't as um great because there's some books, if they describe it, we can see it clearly out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But if they don't, if they try to describe things and it's a bit muddy, I think I'll gloss over it. I'm like, it's not important.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
that's
Yeah.
that's what I happen to do here. Because like if we take into consideration like I'm trying to find another book that's like we've read together that was
That's what I was
quite
trying to think.
descriptive. And I probably would say maybe Piranesi,
Yeah, that's what
because
I was thinking.
even though we both had different views
Views.
on
Yeah.
what the place looked like, I still feel like I could run with what you thought it was. You could
And I
probably
could
run
run
with
with
what
what
I
you, because it was just the starting thing that was different. But yeah,
Exactly. But
yeah.
after that, I got a visual, the
And
birds, the
it's supposed to
albatrosses, and
be,
the stuff like that. Like I could see that visually. Whereas with this book, especially because it is so complicated, some aspects of it, like this whole will imbued armor and stuff like that, like I almost felt like I had to read it back to be like, okay, what happened here? Like, what are we doing here? Um, which I think he might be tailoring this to a visual, which is probably
yeah,
another reason why he's not described the characters too much, because a lot
yeah.
of
So anyone can
authors
be
get
casted.
themselves exactly they get themselves into pitfalls with their audiences because they describe the characters like what's that thing that was such a big deal, not Game of
The Hunger
Thrones,
Games,
Hunger Games, yeah, like Rue, a character called Rue was
even
this
though she was
big
supposed to be
problem.
black,
Yeah, no.
they
But
all.
there was this whole thing about what these people look like because of the way they were described in the book. So I think that's probably why he's
But they
opened it
were
up a little
described
bit
like
better.
that. So that was just ridiculous, actually.
It's true. It was a
but
problematic, very
but I
problematic.
think the problem is books are supposed to be open to interpretation on some level. Like that's why I
Mm,
had a problem with school when they'll break down poems and books, and it's like, how do you know that's how it's intended?
yeah, like
Or you get a
yeah.
book and someone decades later has wrote an introduction and they have nothing to do with the author, and they're trying to tell you bits to look out for, and it's like just because you're an author doesn't make you
Mm,
able to know what symbolism he meant behind certain things. Because I think some things are supposed to be openly interpreted. That's the whole point of a book.
mm.
Or like your personal
Gives you
experiences
that
dictate
imagination,
what
isn't
will
it?
resonate. Yeah, what will
Mm.
resonate with you. Bits, sentences. There's no, if unless you're listening to an audio book, there's no tone dictated. So if you're in a
Which is
bad mood,
another thing. That's another thing that
yeah,
kind of makes things different. Because, like you're saying, in regards to the audiobook, that puts a tone to different
it
people,
forces, yeah.
makes you visualize somebody in a certain way. Like in the audiobook for Oki Score, he's very gruff. His voice is very gruff. And I
Mm.
was a bit like in my head when I was reading it, because I think I started reading the book and I didn't see him as that. I saw him as this
Mm-mm.
toned, look like
Yeah, suave.
soldier looking
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
But then in the book, in the audiobook, the way they voiced him,
Imposing, intimidating. Yeah,
yeah, in the audiobook, they kind of, not Hagrid, kind of, not like big like Hagrid, but
old.
yeah, and like, oh, like, and I'm just like,
Oh,
oh, that's not
no,
actually
I
what
was
I
looking
thought
at
he would sound like.
bass. Yeah, deep, rich
Yeah.
voice. Yeah, that's it.
So that kind of, because I think I said to you that I didn't like the audiobook for this because of, and even the way
Yeah.
the guy was talking for Viz, I was like, I wouldn't made him talk like this. I would have made him talk like this. But like one audiobook that I quite liked, although the sex noises were unnecessary, were Fourth Wing and them because of the voices for each individual character. But yeah, so
Yeah. So when it works, it works. But when it doesn't,
mm,
so when
it
it
can
aligns, it works. But when it doesn't align, it jars. Yeah.
quite jarring because even the next book that we will be doing, I've started listening to audiobook for it, and the main
Oh,
character,
how can you? That would be tough. So when each, should we talk about because it was spoiled. But when they change names, does he have
I
the same voice or not?
I've
Okay.
just started listening, Lola.
Because I was like, how does
Okay,
that work? Okay, let me
so
know when you
yeah,
get to that part.
but when she's because the person that's talking is a woman, and
The mum.
the mum, yeah, and the way she's
Yeah.
talking and she's voicing the way she feels, I'm like, oh man, I do feel for you. Like I don't like this husband of yours and stuff like that. So but yeah, that's all
Mm.
about audio and stuff like that.
That's
But yeah,
correct though, actually. Mm.
I
Mm.
appreciate. I'm liking this. It'll be like you said, it'll be interesting to see how it goes when it starts to zhuzh up. But what do you think
So,
about fan art? Oh, sorry, go on.
so going to the pick and mix from the last episode, but that is a book with a cover that misinterprets. Like I was not expecting. The cover doesn't give what the book's about.
Yeah, because the cover that I have for the audio book
That's one of my
is
points on
like
that. Yeah,
it
there should
looks
be a trigger
like
warning on that book, and it's not
I was just
highlighted.
like, why is Lola making us read this? Because it doesn't seem like our vibe.
I would have never read it because it doesn't seem like my vibe. But it's not a bad book. But even there's one bit in every synopsis you don't. I think I even googled it. Like, why don't they highlight that this is what the main topic of the book? But as soon as
Mm,
you read it, and I'm like, oh, that's not what I was expecting the book to be about. So I wish they. I don't mind it being in part of that book, but I wish they took that out. But sorry, we've
but
diverted
yeah,
to
you
another
know,
episode because that's the next episode, literally.
we're probably getting into that. But yeah, so what's your views on fan art?
So why
Mm.
was I looking at fan art? Oh, because of indie authors. I was looking at the indie author world and the drama and that. I hate it, man.
Mm.
I hate it. It's too sometimes it's okay.
Mm.
But that's when there's already so like for instance with like anime and stuff like that. If you're doing a fan art of a image that already exists, I don't mind that.
Okay.
But for most of the time for books and stuff there doesn't exist in it, so it's always that same, there's always that one style you see mainly.
Yeah.
And yeah, and some are good, I mean, for what it is, but yeah,
Do
I
you
mean,
know
I
one
don't
that
hate
I,
it, I don't hate it, I
yeah,
just don't like it.
one that I did like was, and I probably use it quite a bit was, and I know I keep bringing up the book, was Fourth Wing because I like the dragons. So it was good to get a visual of what everybody else saw the dragons look like.
I didn't do
So,
that. I would have. So
ah, I
I like to leave. I wouldn't want to ruin. What did I do that with? And I
it
was like,
was because I wanted to see because you know the dragons are like different colors. So I was interested to see, like, I was like, oh, okay, I can see what you get for that. And it did, I think it worked quite well for
Mm.
that book. But for Sat one, I didn't like it for that because, and the second book, because of our views. And to be fair, even the public's views, they were a bit confused. It's probably the author's fault, as well. But of the way some of the characters looked like the male character in that book, there was like some people would make him look like this. It was a lot of like different interpretations of what people thought the people looked
Again, you
like.
should have open interpretations. That's what I was like. To
True,
be honest, that's what I was going back on it.
true.
I don't mind it, but sometimes it's too. It's a certain which like we're into anime and manga, but it's always that kind of thing, isn't it? It's that kind of vibe, isn't it?
But yeah, but I don't mind. I like a bit of fan art just to
I
see what
like it
everybody's
when,
visuals are.
yeah, when they put it in the context of the story, though. So
Yeah.
yeah, when it's a scene,
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I do like
So
that.
I do. I appreciate that. I do. They seem to do it a lot for romanticy
You
and
gotta edit that out.
romance. Yeah. So yeah. They seem to do it a lot for romance and fantasy, which is probably fair because there's a lot you
Yeah.
probably want to look at the visuals for
You
that in
ship you
comparison
ship
to
the
certain books.
characters and you can
Is there
do
any
fandom. I don't mind fandom about
is there
characters
fan art
though.
for this?
I don't have an opinion about if you take a character and you so for instance, if the I'm pretty sure there's a fandom for Viz. Like there's a story about Viz for actually a love
Yeah.
story.
Okay, let me see if I can show you some visuals of.
Have you found stories though? That's what I
Oh
don't
no,
mind
no,
about.
no. No, I'm just looking at fan art. But and the other problem I've noticed with fan art is a lot of them are using AI.
That's the
So
thing. That's what I was trying to
mm,
say. It
a lot
has
of them are
that
using
AI.
AI.
That's the word I was looking for. That kind of look, which is
Yeah.
funny because AI just means that it's stolen from other artists, but it's that
Mm,
same look. Like you see
interesting.
actual proper graphic designers, and you can tell when it's like,
Interesting. It's not a lot, but there's some fan art for him. There is some fan art. But
interesting.
yeah.
Oh no, this
Oh.
looks like this. Yeah, no, this is not good. None of these are good.
Some people
No,
have
it's
some
not good.
really cool book. Like their version of the books looks really cool.
Yeah, no, this strength of the few looks crazy.
Mm. But
A
yeah, sorry.
custom rebind of the wood of the many
Oh,
of
okay.
these.
Maybe like send your book on.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's that. But yeah, so what are you guys' thoughts on characters and imagining? Are you, because like Lola did highlight, if you're somebody that says a word like apple and can visualize apple, then you're probably like us. But there are some people that don't actually they can't visualize. So that must I wonder what books feel like for them. That must be a really weird experience.
the people I always ask this question when people say they don't like to read, and the people that don't like to read tend to be the people that don't visualize
Mm.
when
Oh, that's
they,
interesting. Because it's almost like,
yeah.
what are we doing? Like, it
Well,
probably,
yeah, well, you, yeah.
like, okay. Oh, that's so interesting. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on characters and imagining? Are you somebody that mentally casts characters? Do you look at actors and think, oh, you would play a really good Viz, for example? Um, are you somebody that has disagreed with adaptions because they weren't what you expected? And do you look at fan arts? Do let us know. We do have YouTube. You can always comment, and you can always comment on Spotify. Alrighty. Thank you guys for listening. This was your midweek bonus. So I hope you really enjoyed it and you were able to get into a conversation. Please, if you're on Spotify or YouTube, do leave us a comment. Like give us some information on how you feel about characters and imagining. And you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, follow, do all the good things. Because if you don't, Lola's not here, so I'm gonna say it. She gonna cuss your ass. She gonna cuss you. All right. Toodles.